Chapter 1, The Wake-Up Call. Imagine this. What if the biggest opportunity of your life came to your door every single morning at 4 a.m. and you slept right through it? Napoleon Hill said, "Every adversity carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit." In other words, life offers you a chance every day, but do you take it? Today's story, science, and mindset shift are powerful enough that you won't say, "I'll start tomorrow." You'll begin changing your life tonight. To understand the power of waking up at 4 a.m., we first need to step into the silence many refer to as the peak clarity zone. This is the hour when the world around you is almost completely still. Traffic is quieted down, notifications are silent, and the rush of daily life hasn't begun. At this time, your cortisol levels, heart rate, and brain's alpha state reach a rare balance where your mind becomes deeply receptive, fully alert, and highly creative. No noise, no chaos, just a calm stillness that lets your thoughts move freely. That's why many of the world's most successful people, whether it's Apple's Steve Jobs, authors like Robin Sharma, top scientists, or Olympic athletes, treat the early morning quiet as a sacred ritual. Because in these silent hours, your productivity increases, your clarity sharpens, and your mind reaches a state where tough decisions finally become clear. Many people believe success comes only from hard work, but the truth is, timing can be even more powerful. If an athlete trains at the wrong time, performance suffers. If a scientist works deeply during a distracted hour, the mind stays scattered. If a leader makes important decisions in chaos, clarity disappears. That's why 4 a.m. isn't just another hour. It's a mental advantage, a psychological edge, a doorway to deeper focus. At this time, you're disconnected from the world, but deeply connected to yourself. This is when your inner voice speaks the clearest. During the day, it gets buried under traffic, stress, deadlines, and constant noise. But at 4 a.m., that inner voice becomes strong enough to guide you through your biggest decisions. Robin Sharma says, "Own your morning, and your morning will own you." Napoleon Hill explains this even further. He teaches that your future depends not only on your actions, but on the thoughts you allow to form in your mind. Motivational videos might excite you for a few minutes, but real motivation comes from within, and it starts with two things: clarity and a strong desire. Hill said, "A weak desire brings weak results." If your goal's so vague or emotionally empty that you don't feel driven to wake up for it, then that goal was never truly yours. Your goals should be powerful enough to pull you out of bed. That is a strong desire. It's the kind of goal that keeps your mind restless, an ambition that takes sleep from your eyes, a dream that pushes you to grow into a new version of yourself. From Hill's research, after studying thousands of successful people, he found one common trait. Their goals had intensity. Their goals weren't wishes. They were commitments. Commitments they made to themselves. Commitments they were willing to sacrifice for. Their purpose was so clear that they didn't rely on alarm clocks. Their purpose woke them up. That's why Hill says, before you build a morning routine, build a life routine. When you have clarity in life, you naturally find a reason to wake up early. Without that clarity, no alarm, motivation, or discipline will keep you consistent. And that's why many people fail at waking up early, not because they're weak, but because they lack a reason to rise. They try to build a habit without changing their identity. Hill's psychology says habits aren't built from behavior alone. They're built from identity. If you see yourself as someone who always wakes up late, no method will work for long. But if you start seeing yourself as a morning achiever, as a purposeful person, then waking up at 4 a.m. stops feeling like a struggle and becomes a natural part of who you are. So the first step to changing your lifestyle isn't, "I'll try to wake up at 4 a.m. tomorrow." The first step is, tonight, write down your purpose. The more clearly you write it, the more clarity you gain, and from clarity, discipline is born. When your mind truly understands that waking up at 4 a.m. isn't a competition with your alarm, but a step toward your future self, your brain begins waking you up on its own. Research shows that when the mind has a strong purpose, your dopamine pathways activate. And dopamine doesn't just create excitement, It strengthens decision-making. This makes waking up early easier. So tonight, take just 10 minutes. Turn off the lights. Take a blank page, take a deep breath, and write, why do I want to wake up at 4 a.m.? Who do I want to become? And how can this habit change my life? Believe this, these 10 minutes can shape the next 10 years of your life. Because when you find your reason, discipline follows. When discipline follows, identity changes. And when identity changes, your life transforms. So don't try to wake up tomorrow. Trying won't take you far. Tonight, write your purpose. Awaken clarity. Activate your desire. Tomorrow morning, before your alarm even rings, you'll see that cool blue light outside your window, and you'll feel it. Your life has already started to change. In Napoleon Hill's philosophy, one of the most transformative concepts is autosuggestion, a mental tool he considered the foundation of mind programming. To understand autosuggestion, you first need to accept this. The brain doesn't just produce thoughts, it rewires itself based on the thoughts you repeat. Neuroscientists call this neuroplasticity. Imagine your mind as a field. If you walk along the same path again and again, a permanent trail forms. Your mind works the same way. The thoughts you repeat become the brain's default pathways. That's the power of autosuggestion. It works almost like self-guided hypnosis. You give your mind a clear, deliberate instruction. The instruction can be as simple as, I wake up at 4 a.m. every day. And it feels natural to me. Behind this one sentence, a powerful neurological shift begins. You might wonder, can a single sentence really build a habit? The answer is, not by saying it once, but by repeating it, thinking it consistently, and attaching emotion to it. Your subconscious begins accepting it as truth. Hill explains, repeated thoughts create repeated behavior. Repeated behavior shapes identity, and identity creates lasting change. Through discipline alone, you might wake up at 4 a.m. for a few days, but if your identity is still, I'm naturally a late riser, your mind will eventually pull your actions back to that identity. Discipline pushes you, identity pulls you, and the human mind always follows the pull. So if you want waking up at 4 a.m. to become your real habit, you must shift your identity first. What is identity? Identity is the internal position you assign yourself. If you keep thinking, waking up early is hard for me, your mind will work to confirm that belief. The alarm will ring. Your mind will whisper, go back to sleep. This is who you are. And eventually, you'll listen. Not because you're weak, but because identity directs behavior. That's why Hill says, identity matters more than discipline. Identity is like software. If the software is outdated, the system keeps crashing no matter how hard you push. But when you update the internal software, when your identity shifts, the habit no longer feels forced. It begins to flow naturally. So how do you change identity? This is where the second part of autosuggestion comes in. Autosuggestions aren't just words. They are declarations, statements that rewrite your subconscious programming. When you say, morning is my advantage, you're not just repeating a line, you're installing a new instruction. Your subconscious accepts any emotional, repeated statement as truth, whether positive or negative. That's why negative self-talk also shapes identity. But when you intentionally feed your mind empowering, identity-shifting statements, your subconscious begins to embrace them. One day you'll notice you're waking up at 4 a.m. No alarm, no struggle, because your mind and identity are finally aligned. A simple example, someone who identifies as an athlete doesn't force themselves to train, their identity naturally pulls them to move. Someone who sees themselves as a writer doesn't struggle to write daily, their identity pushes them toward the work. And if you give yourself the identity of a morning achiever, your mind begins waking you up early automatically. This is one of the most misunderstood ideas in Hill's Think and Grow Rich. Hill said, the mind moves in the direction you guide it. Autosuggestion is the guiding force. That's why the phrase you repeat before sleeping, morning is my advantage, is not just motivation, it's identity programming. At night, when your thoughts slow down and the mental noise fades, your subconscious becomes more open and receptive. At that moment, if you repeat a clear instruction, your mind stores it deeply. The next morning, when your alarm rings, your brain activates that stored instruction. This is my advantage time, and your behavior follows your identity. This technique isn't limited to waking up early. It works for every major transformation. If you affirm, "I am confident," your mind begins looking for ways to be confident. If you affirm, "I am focused," distractions lose their grip. If you affirm, "I am unstoppable," obstacles look smaller. The real power of autosuggestion is this: it doesn't transform you from the outside, it transforms you from the inside out. And once the inside changes, the outside must follow. When identity shifts, habits, routines, and discipline follow naturally. Here's a simple but powerful lifestyle habit. Every night before sleeping, say this 3 times. Morning is my advantage. Say it with intention. Say it with belief. The more consistently you repeat it, the faster your identity will shift. And one day, when you open your eyes at 4 a.m. without effort, you'll realize autosuggestion is no longer a technique, it has become your operating system. The 4 a.m. hour isn't just a number on the clock. It's a biological and mental shift happening inside your body every single day, whether you choose to use it or not. At this time, your body creates a unique internal chemistry that neuroscientists describe as the perfect productivity state. As the night's melatonin gradually decreases, your brain begins moving out of deep sleep. At the same time, serotonin, the chemical that stabilizes mood and supports mental clarity, rises. You feel calm, centered, and emotionally steady. In this state, your mind is far from distraction and closest to deep focus. Along with this, your dopamine levels remain stable. This means you're not overly impulsive, you're not overly excited. You're in a balanced state of motivation, a state where you can handle tough tasks with both clarity and patience. Then comes the cortisol awakening response, your body's natural morning activation system. People often hear the word cortisol and think stress, but in the morning, cortisol becomes your internal wake-up signal. It activates your system, releases energy, and shifts your brain into high-function mode. Now imagine this combination: lower melatonin, higher serotonin, stable dopamine, morning cortisol at its peak. This mix is so rare and so powerful that if someone uses it intentionally, their productivity can multiply several times. That's why activities like reading, planning, meditation, skill building become 3 to 5 times more effective at 4 a.m. This isn't just motivational talk. This is backed by neuroscience. It's the same biological advantage Napoleon Hill didn't describe in scientific terms, but his philosophy indirectly pointed to it. Hill said, "If a person learns to take control of their mornings, their life comes under control." After studying successful people for over 20 years, Hill emphasized one truth: successful people own their mornings. This doesn't mean they all wake up exactly at 4 a.m., but it does mean they treat their mornings as intentional, protected, distraction-free. Look at some of history's greatest minds. Nikola Tesla, who often worked late into the night, but used the quiet hours to record his breakthrough ideas. Benjamin Franklin, whose entire day hinged on his morning ritual of journaling, reflection, and planning. Kobe Bryant, who began training before sunrise because, as he said, "The morning grind builds champions." All of them shared one practice. They protected their mornings for growth. Their mornings were sacred, uninterrupted, and focused, and that's why they were steps ahead of the world while most people hadn't even started their day. They didn't treat morning as just a time. They treated it as a strategy, a philosophy, an undeniable advantage. When the world is asleep, you face zero competition, you face zero distractions, and your mind becomes a blank canvas where you can design the biggest ideas of your life. That's why people who wake up at 4 a.m. often describe it as feeling like a personal victory, because they win the first battle of the day. And when your day starts with a win, your brain keeps pushing you toward more wins throughout the day. But waking up early is only half the story. The question is, once you wake up at 4 a.m., what should you actually do? Here's a simple, powerful morning routine. In the first 20 minutes after waking up, do just 2 things. 1, deep breathing. not just to fill your lungs, but to activate your nervous system, shifting it from a relaxed state to an alert, focused state. It signals to your body, we're ready. 2. Write one small goal. No long journaling, no complicated plan, just one clear win for the day. Because at 4 a.m., your brain is at its most coachable. If you give it a clear direction, your whole day aligns with that intention. This goal could be one chapter of study, one important call, one meaningful email, one workout target. Anything as long as it sets the tone for the day. If your first 20 minutes are strong, your entire day becomes strong. If your days are strong, your weeks become strong. And if your weeks are strong, your life becomes strong. That is the 4 a.m. advantage. It doesn't just wake you up early, it moves you ahead early. And when you use this advantage consistently over months, your body chemistry and brain wiring and identity begin to shift. You evolve into a version of yourself that isn't just disciplined, you become unstoppable. That's the secret of world-class performers. They win the morning, and the morning helps them win the world. A lot of people assume waking up at 4 a.m. is just a habit, a small routine change, a discipline challenge, something you try for a few days. But the truth is, waking up at 4 a.m. is less about habit and far more about character. When the alarm rings and you open your eyes, your real battle isn't with sleep. Your real battle is with your doubts, your fears, your weaknesses. In that silent early morning when the world is still asleep, your true battlefield is inside your mind. One voice says, you don't need to wake up, just sleep 10 more minutes. The other voice, the voice of your ambition, your purpose, your burning desire, quietly whispers, get up, this is your moment. That split second is where winners are created. Getting up at that moment is not just turning off an alarm, it is a decision that reshapes your identity. We don't become who we are by doing 100 tasks during the day. We become who we are by the instructions we give our mind the instant we wake up. If you can get yourself out of bed at 4 a.m., you prove to yourself that you can win against your own weakness. And someone who can defeat their own weakness can defeat any challenge in the world. That's why waking up at 4 a.m. becomes a psychological transformation. Your self-respect increases. Your confidence grows. Your self-image elevates. You begin to see yourself as a disciplined, powerful individual. And once your identity shifts, it starts shaping every action in your life. This was never a battle with sleep. It was always a battle with your laziness, your excuses, the invisible walls keeping you from your best self. Every time you break that invisible wall in the morning, your character becomes stronger like steel. Napoleon Hill spent his entire life trying to answer one question: what is the true foundation of human success? He studied countless people, listened to their stories, analyzed their patterns, and eventually discovered a ritual, a blueprint for transformation. Hill didn't call it magic. He called it the most powerful formula in human psychology. According to him, permanent transformation depends on 5 pillars. 1. Burning desire. 2. Clear plan. 3. Daily action. 4. Autosuggestion. 5. Faith in yourself. Understanding these 5 steps is the doorway to a transformation that doesn't just make you disciplined, it makes you unstoppable. Step 1. Burning desire. Hill said weak desires bring weak results. If your desire isn't strong, your effort will never ignite. A burning desire is the force that pulls the sleep out of your eyes, sharpens your focus, makes your priorities crystal clear. If your goals are vague, waking up early feels like torture. But when your goal burns inside you, your eyes open before the alarm even rings. Step 2. Clear plan. Desire is the fuel, but a plan is the steering wheel. Without a plan, desire becomes scattered energy. If you wake up at 4 a.m. and have no direction, your mind fills with confusion, and soon you drift back to sleep. A clear plan means mapping out your next day the night before, knowing what you'll do in the first 30 minutes, identifying the tasks you must complete, deciding your small win of the day. A clear plan aligns your mind with your identity. Step 3. Daily action. Hill said, consistency isn't magic, it's mathematics. A wall is built one brick at a time. A life is built one morning at a time. Daily action is the discipline that turns desire into results. This is where your brain begins following your body. The mind says we wake up. The body says we move. And action starts reshaping how you see yourself. Every small step becomes a quiet vote for the person you're trying to become. Hill emphasizes consistency is what rewrites identity. The world doesn't change for the person who works hard once. It changes for the person who shows up repeatedly, whether they feel like it or not. Step 4. Autosuggestion. Autosuggestion is the mental programming tool that gives direction to your identity. It shifts your beliefs, expands your mindset, and helps your habits actually stick. When you repeatedly tell yourself, "Morning is my advantage. I am a morning achiever. I rise before the world does," your subconscious begins to store those statements as truth. And once the subconscious accepts something as truth, your behavior naturally follows it. Autosuggestion quiets the doubts that slow you down. It strengthens the confidence that pushes you forward. It replaces fear with clarity and hesitation with momentum. This is why Hill considered autosuggestion essential. It rewrites the internal narrative that drives everything you do. Step 5. Faith in yourself. The final pillar is faith, a calm but unshakable trust in your ability to grow. Without self-belief, transformation becomes temporary. But when you trust your direction, your choices, and your purpose, every step becomes intentional. Hill said that faith unlocks the subconscious mind. It changes the emotional tone of your thoughts and shifts your inner world from doubt to conviction. Faith doesn't mean knowing every step in advance. It simply means trusting the process and trusting yourself. When all 5 pillars work together, when burning desire, a clear plan, daily action, autosuggestion, and faith come together, something extraordinary happens. Your habits stop feeling forced. Your discipline stops feeling heavy. Your routines stop feeling like restrictions. They become part of who you are. You don't wake up at 4 a.m. to impress someone. You wake up at 4 a.m. because that is who you are now. You don't push your way through challenges. You move through them because your identity requires it. And once identity changes, everything else follows. Your habits, your choices, your confidence, your growth, your life. This is the transformation. Napoleon Hill discovered not a brief spark of motivation, but a permanent upgrade in who you are. When you start winning your mornings, you start winning your days. And when you win enough days, you win your life.